New York City, June 1933. Museum staff clean an elephant skin at the American Museum of Natural History. The massive task required specialized techniques and careful handling. Museums preserved natural specimens for scientific study and public education. Washington, D.C., winter 1846. A daguerreotype shows the White House in the first known photograph of the presidential residence. Early photography captured America's most iconic buildings. The primitive process required long exposures. Tuzla, Bosnia, 1995. A Bosnian refugee family cries as their father and husband arrives at the United Nations Air Base after surviving the 6-day death march from Srebrenica. Over 8,000 Muslim men and boys were murdered in Europe's worst atrocity since World War II. London, England, 1940. An English bride heads to her wedding merely days after her home was bombed in the Blitz. Despite the devastation, life continued. British resilience during German bombing became legendary. Civilians maintained routines and celebrated milestones amid nightly terror and widespread destruction. Leningrad, Soviet Union, 1941. During the siege, Yevdokia Dashina saved Hippo Bell by hauling 40-liter barrels from the Neva River daily and rubbing Bell with camphor oil after water was cut off. Bell's skin began cracking. Dashina's dedication allowed Bell to survive the brutal 900-day blockade. Bergen-Belsen, Germany, 1945. Mass Grave No. 5 is part of the memorial complex, holding at least 23,200 victims across 14 graves. The concentration camp documented Nazi genocide's horror. British forces liberated the camp, discovering thousands of corpses and dying survivors. Tripoli, Libya, April 1939. Hermann Göring and Italo Balbo, both Air Force commanders, receive a parade of Italian colonial troops in Balbo's capacity as Governor-General of Libya. Gurzuf, Crimea, Ukrainian SSR, 1969. Workers harvest grapes at the State Farm photographed by A. Giventhal. Soviet collective agriculture produced wine and food throughout Ukraine's fertile regions. Crimea's mild climate supported viticulture. Istanbul, Turkey, 1930s. A fisherman returns with his catch. Istanbul's fishing culture sustained the city for centuries. Fresh fish fed millions living along the Bosphorus. Traditional fishing methods persisted despite modernization. Hue, Vietnam, February 1968. Famous photographer John Olson captures a mangled mess of wounded United States Marines during brutal fighting for the Citadel. The month-long battle became one of the Vietnam War's bloodiest engagements. Olson's powerful image documented the conflict's human cost and suffering. Stakliskis, Lithuania, 1933. Jews celebrate Purim, the festival commemorating deliverance from destruction in ancient Persia. Lithuanian Jewish communities maintained vibrant traditions for centuries. Within a decade, the Holocaust would destroy Eastern European Jewish life. Australia, circa 1890s. 3 girls play captured on glass negative. 2 swing barefoot due to flooding, hiking their dresses. The photograph preserves childhood play patterns. Glass plate photography documented everyday moments. Such images reveal Victorian-era recreation before modern entertainment transformed childhood throughout colonial Australia. Washington, D.C., 1932. Dr. Eric Salomon illegally photographed inside the United States Supreme Court by faking a broken arm to hide a camera in his cast. One of only 2 illegal photos taken while court was in session. The pioneering photojournalist defied restrictions documenting American institutions. Azores Islands until 1930s. The Azorean hood, or capote e capello, was a traditional garment commonly worn in the Azores, particularly on File Island. The distinctive cape and hood protected against harsh Atlantic weather. Hong Kong, circa 1930. See Hong Kong, the Riviera of the Orient tourist advertising poster created by J.D. Pierce on commission from the British colonial government for international tourism promotion. Colonial Hong Kong attracted wealthy travelers. British authorities marketed the exotic port as a sophisticated Asian destination. Hampstead Garden Suburb, London, February 1932. Elizabeth Taylor was born, certainly one of the world's most beautiful women ever. The violet-eyed actress became Hollywood royalty. Taylor's 8 marriages, legendary roles, and AIDS activism made her one of the 20th century's most famous women until her 2011 death. Hollywood, December 1953. Marilyn Monroe appears behind scenes of The Jack Benny Show going over the script. The photograph captures Monroe during her rise to superstardom. She balanced her glamorous image with serious acting ambitions despite studio typecasting and personal struggles throughout her short life. Abu Ghraib, Iraq, 2003. The torture of prisoners at Abu Ghraib prison shocked the world. American soldiers photographed themselves abusing Iraqi detainees. The scandal damaged United States credibility and violated international law. Several soldiers were court-martialed. United States, 1960s. The Beverly Hillbillies became the show America loved. The sitcom about a poor family striking oil and moving to Beverly Hills entertained millions. The Fish Out of Water comedy ran 9 seasons. Its wholesome humor and memorable characters defined 1960s television programming and American popular culture. UCLA to Stanford, October 1969. Student programmer Charlie Klein attempted sending the first electronic message. His goal was transmitting login, but the system crashed after only the first 2 letters. As a result, the first message ever sent over the internet was LO. The ARPANET revolutionized communication. Vermont, 1977. Theron Boyd cooks supper in his Vermont home. The photograph documents rural New England life during the decade. Traditional lifestyles persisted in isolated communities. Vermont attracted Back to the Land movement participants seeking simpler existence. Texas, July 2025. Last image of Blair and Brook Harbor before they would lose their lives in the Texas floods. The tragic loss occurred during severe weather. Flash flooding proved deadly throughout the state. Their deaths highlighted climate change, increasing extreme weather events and natural disasters. Santa Margarita, California, February 1926. Rudolph Valentino narrowly escaped death when his speeding Italian car crashed, landing 3 feet from a northbound train track 1 minute before the train passed. The silent film Heartthrob's near-death experience shocked fans. Valentino died months later at age 31. Harlem, New York City, 1975. Photographer Paul Josefros documents the neighborhood. Harlem faced economic decline and urban decay during the 1970s. Despite challenges, the historic black community maintained cultural vitality. France, March 1969. The supersonic airliner Concorde makes its maiden flight. The British-French collaboration achieved speeds over twice the speed of sound. Concorde represented cutting-edge aviation technology. The aircraft revolutionized transatlantic travel for wealthy passengers until retirement in 2003 following declining profitability. United States, 1970s. A young lady poses in platform shoes and flared jeans. The fashion defined the decade style. Platform shoes and bell-bottoms represented rebellion and self-expression. Disco culture embraced flamboyant clothing. Such styles reflected the era's social changes and youth culture throughout America. Taiwan, October 1930. Gruesome display shows Japanese officials and Taiwanese indigenous collaborators posing with severed heads of executed Seediq rebels after the Wuxia Rebellion. Colonial violence suppressed indigenous resistance. Japan brutally controlled Taiwan from 1895 to 1945. The uprising was crushed with horrific reprisals and massacres. Iran, 1930. Kurdish prisoners chained by the neck and feet by the Iranian Pahlavi dynasty state. The regime brutally suppressed ethnic minorities seeking autonomy. Kurds faced systematic oppression throughout Iran, Iraq, and Turkey. Such photographs documented state violence against indigenous peoples throughout the Middle East. Military base, 1970s. A wounded war dog receives medical treatment. Dogs served alongside soldiers in combat zones throughout modern warfare. Trained for detection, patrol, and attack missions, military dogs saved countless lives. Their service and sacrifice earned recognition and veterinary care during and after deployment. Washington State, 1980. Mount St. Helens before and after its eruption comparison shows the volcano's transformation. The May 18th explosion killed 57 people and devastated the landscape. The lateral blast removed 1,300 feet of mountain elevation. Nature's destructive power reshaped the entire region permanently. Onitsha, Biafra, Nigeria, April 1968. Photographer Julkaran captures an Igbo separatist guerrilla. The Biafran War resulted from Nigeria's civil conflict. Over 1 million died, mostly from starvation. The secessionist state collapsed in 1970. Egypt and United States, various dates. Anwar Sadat's anecdotes with United States presidents provide historical humor. The Egyptian leader cultivated relationships with American administrations. Sadat's diplomatic initiatives included the Camp David Accords, bringing peace with Israel. Assassinated in 1981. Europe, 1973. Rick Steves recalls, "Here I am, heading off to Europe the day after high school graduation with a budget of $3 daily, a 10-week Eurail pass, and the biggest backpack I could find. I came home with no money, a malnourished body, and an enduring love of Europe." United States, circa 1880s. A father poses with his 2 children and dog. Victorian-era family portraits documented domestic life. Dogs were beloved companions. Studio photography preserved family memories. Such images connected generations despite separation by time. New Zealand, late 19th century. Tawiao, the second Maori king, photographed during his leadership of the Kingatanga movement. He reigned from 1860 to 1894. The colorized image preserves Maori political sovereignty efforts. Indigenous leaders resisted British colonization. Rutgers University, circa 1915. The football team poses in early 20th century uniforms. College football was gaining popularity. Leather helmets provided minimal protection. Rutgers played Princeton in college football's first game in 1869. The sport evolved from rugby into America's most popular game over decades. France, circa 1900 to 1905. Rat coin purse by Paul Fry for famous La Cloche Fraise French jewelist demonstrates Art Nouveau craftsmanship. The whimsical luxury accessory reflected Belle Epoque creativity. French jewelers created elaborate designs for wealthy clients. Such items represented extraordinary artistry and wealth throughout Europe's golden age. PAM, Russian SFSR, 1951. Children enjoy an ice slide during winter. Soviet childhood included outdoor recreation despite harsh climate. Ice slides provided free entertainment. Russian winters shaped cultural traditions and recreation. France, World War I. French modern armor, made of steel plates covered with black fabric to wear under a tunic, attempted protecting soldiers from shrapnel. Such experimental equipment proved impractical. Traditional uniforms dominated despite armor experiments. Trench warfare's brutal reality. Hollywood, 1936. Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire star in Swing Time. The legendary dancing partnership defined 1930s Hollywood musicals. Their chemistry and choreography created cinematic magic. Astaire and Rogers made 10 films together. United States, circa 1870s. A cabinet card shows a young lady with thick hair. Victorian photography documented fashion and beauty standards. Studio portraits displayed social status. Heavy hair was prized. Women spent hours styling elaborate coiffures. Chicago, September 1953. The Honorable Louis Farrakhan and wife Khadija pose on their wedding day. Farrakhan later led the Nation of Islam, becoming a controversial figure. His leadership emphasized black empowerment, but sparked criticism for anti-Semitic rhetoric. United States, 1999 to 2013. For decades, psychic Sylvia Brown made millions lying to parents of missing children. In 1999, she falsely claimed a missing 6-year-old was sold into slavery in Japan. The girl was actually dead in Texas. In 2004, she told Amanda Berry's mom her daughter was dead. Berry was found alive 10 years later. Brown's cruel deceptions caused immeasurable pain. London, England, 1944. Wally's barber shop signs advertise services. War or no war, he'd still cut your hair. British resilience during World War II extended to everyday businesses. Barbers maintained normalcy amid bombing and rationing. France, 1917. French soldiers pose with their war-torn flag. The tattered banner symbolized their unit's sacrifice and endurance through brutal trench warfare. Flags represented regimental honor and national pride. Soldiers maintained morale through symbols despite unprecedented carnage and suffering throughout World War I's devastating Western Front. Gymnasium, circa 1985 to 1987. Actress and fitness figure Gladys Portuguese poses for fans. The fitness boom of the 1980s created new celebrity categories. Portuguese represented women's bodybuilding and fitness culture. Gym culture exploded during the decade. Tajik SSR, 1973. Gam Kashmir thermal springs attract visitors seeking therapeutic waters. Soviet Central Asia featured numerous natural hot springs. The remote autonomous province preserved traditional practices. Thermal springs provided health benefits and recreation throughout the mountainous region's isolated communities and villages. Sweden, date uncertain. Ferry Firefly TT.MKI, initially operated by the Royal Navy, ended its days as a target tug. The wing folding system is clearly visible here. Naval aircraft featured folding wings for carrier storage. Obsolete planes served new purposes. Target tugs trained anti-aircraft gunners. Cold Harbor, Virginia, April 1865. Photographer John Reiki captures workers collecting remains of dead on the battlefield after the Civil War ended. Tens of thousands died at Cold Harbor. Bodies lay unburied for months. Recovery teams gathered remains for proper burial. The grim work documented war's aftermath. Brindisi, Italy, 3rd century BC. Aphrodite rises from a seashell, now in the Francesco Rebezzo Archaeological Museum. The ancient sculpture depicts the goddess born from foam. Greek mythology inspired countless artistic representations. Such artifacts preserved religious beliefs and artistic traditions across millennia of Mediterranean civilization and culture. Edgeley, North Dakota, early 1900s. Working men relax with beer and cigars photographed by W.E. Ravely, restored and colorized from glass negatives. Male social culture centered around saloons and leisure. Such gatherings strengthened community bonds. Alcohol and tobacco defined working-class recreation throughout rural America. Los Alamos, New Mexico, 1945. American physicist Harold Agnew holds the core of the atomic bomb that killed 80,000 people in Nagasaki. The plutonium sphere represented unprecedented destructive power. Scientists developed the weapon-ending World War II. The photograph captures the banality of mass destruction held casually. Toronto, Canada, February 1926. Around 2:35 a.m. on Sunday, Charles Brewer's car traveling east hit a hydro pole on St. Clair Avenue east of Rushton Road. The car was cut in two, but Brewer only suffered a broken leg while 2 passengers were uninjured. Early automobiles lacked modern safety features. Austria-Hungary, World War I pioneer troops march in the high mountains during Alpine warfare. The Italian front saw brutal mountain combat. Extreme altitude, weather, and terrain made fighting extraordinarily difficult. Avalanches killed thousands alongside conventional combat. New York City, 1931. Opening day for the George Washington Bridge connecting Manhattan and New Jersey across the Hudson River. The suspension bridge was the world's longest at the time. The massive structure transformed transportation and regional development. Thousands attended the ceremony celebrating engineering achievement. New York City, 1910. 38th Street from Fifth Avenue shows the bustling city. Pedestrians, horse-drawn carriages, and early automobiles share the streets. Skyscrapers were beginning to rise. New York was transforming into the modern metropolis that would dominate the century through constant growth and development. New York City, 1905. The Harlem River Speedway provided recreational space for horse racing and carriage driving. The Riverside Drive attracted wealthy New Yorkers before automobiles. Such spaces offered leisure for privileged classes. The Speedway represented the Gilded Age's emphasis on public recreation and conspicuous display. Chicago, Illinois, 1973. The intersection of 95th and Hampton Avenue appears during the decade. The photograph documents urban American neighborhoods during a transformative era. Such images preserve ordinary streetscapes, revealing social, economic, and architectural patterns. Chicago faced challenges including deindustrialization and white flight. Hollywood, 1981. Jeff Goldblum poses during his rising career. The eccentric actor would become famous for roles in The Fly and Jurassic Park. Goldblum's unique screen presence and quirky persona made him a distinctive character actor. His career spanned 5 decades of memorable performances. Rome, Italy, 1860. A classy gentleman poses for a souvenir photograph during Italy's unification era. Photography studios attracted tourists and locals documenting their appearance. Studio portraits demonstrated sophistication and wealth. Mrs. Beasley doll by Mattel spoke 11 different phrases when her string was pulled, including "Do you want to try on my glasses?" The beloved toy from Family Affair television show became iconic. Mattel's talking dolls revolutionized the toy industry throughout the decade. Hollywood, 1993. Dave Chappelle and Carrie Elwes posed together early in their careers. Chappelle would become one of comedy's most influential voices. Elwes achieved fame in The Princess Bride. Both actors carved distinct paths through entertainment. The Pueblo, Colorado, spring 1939. Beat worker Sophia Herrera fashioned root cellars from old oil drums buried sideways in the earth near her adobe home. Depression-era ingenuity enabled survival. Migrant workers adapted with limited resources. Nebraska, 1934. During dust storms, farmer's son Roy Jensen collected tumbleweed seeds and planted them as living fences around his family's chicken yard. The thorny barriers protected livestock. Dust Bowl conditions forced creative solutions. Oklahoma, 1937. In cotton fields, sharecropper Elena Washington boiled okra pods into thick mucilage glue to repair torn canvas tents and shoe soles. The natural adhesive demonstrated resourcefulness. Depression poverty required improvisation. Traditional knowledge provided solutions. Barber shop, early 1900s. The photograph captures details of a traditional barbershop interior. Barbers provided essential grooming services and community gathering spaces. Male social culture centered around such establishments. Barbershops remained neighborhood institutions where men discussed politics, sports. Minnesota, circa 1885. Native Ojibwe camp along the St. Croix River preserves traditional lifestyles. Indigenous peoples maintained cultural practices despite forced assimilation pressures. Camps served as seasonal gathering places. Such photographs documented disappearing ways of life as American expansion. United States, circa 1880s. Nellie Brown, Black Cowgirl, demonstrates African American presence in the Wild West. Black cowboys comprised significant portions of frontier cattle drivers. Brown challenged both racial and gender barriers. Her story represents forgotten contributions of black women to Western history and American expansion. Lampazes, Texas, 1880. Frontier streets show the town during the Wild West era. Texas remained lawless and violent. Such photographs preserve frontier architecture and daily life. Cowboys, ranchers, and outlaws populated frontier towns. Lampazes represented countless settlements throughout the American West during this formative period. Springfield, Illinois, circa 1910. A farm family does watermelon pickling while chickens scoop up discarded seeds. Agricultural families preserved food for winter. Chickens provided eggs and meat. Such domestic scenes documented rural American life. Hollywood, Maryland, late 19th, early 20th century. Inside Thompson General Store shows rural commerce. Country stores provided essential goods to isolated communities. Such establishments served as social gathering places. Store owners extended credit to farmers between harvests. General stores defined rural American commerce and community life. Beaver City, Alaska, circa 1897 to 1900. A haggard-looking group of Alaska gold rush miners dines together at a banquet 75 miles north of Arctic City. Prospectors endured extreme hardship seeking fortune. Most miners found little gold. Westlake, Texas, 1964. A woman takes a break outside her small general store. The nice soft drink selection reflects American consumer culture. Small businesses served local communities throughout the rural South. Independent stores competed with growing chain retailers. Such establishments provided personal service and community connection. Western Frontier, 1880. Cowboys share a line shack. Before barbed wire was prevalent, cowboys needed line shacks to keep an eye on their herds over vast areas. The isolated cabins provided shelter during range riding. Cowboys spent lonely weeks monitoring cattle across open rangelands throughout the West. Victoria Park, London, England, 1953. The public park provides recreation space for urban residents. London's parks offered green space amid dense city development. Victoria Park served working-class East London communities. United States, 1912. Testing football helmets demonstrates early sports safety equipment. Leather helmets provided minimal protection. Head injuries were common. Safety awareness grew slowly. Modern protective equipment evolved from such primitive beginnings. Football's violence eventually fostered improved safety standards protecting players from traumatic brain injuries. Luxembourg, 1944. A United States soldier shakes hands with a dog during the Battle of the Bulge. Moments of humanity occurred amid brutal winter fighting. Dogs provided comfort to soldiers. Animals became companions in war zones. Such interactions reminded troops of home and normalcy during the desperate German offensive. United States, 1886. A couple rides a quadricycle, an early four-wheeled bicycle for two riders. Victorian-era transportation innovations preceded automobiles. Such vehicles provided recreation and courtship opportunities. Cycling became popular despite social restrictions on women's activities. Nottinghamshire, England, date uncertain. A stone gargoyle of a man putting his foot in his mouth adorns the wall of Rufford Abbey ruins. Medieval architecture featured elaborate decorative elements. Gargoyles served both functional drainage purposes and symbolic meanings. The humorous carving demonstrated medieval stoneworkers' wit and craftsmanship. Nevada-Arizona border, 1934. The Hoover Dam appears under construction. The massive project tamed the Colorado River, providing water and electricity to the Southwest. Over 100 workers died during 5 years of dangerous labor. The dam exemplified New Deal infrastructure projects transforming America during the Depression. Calcutta, India, 1930. A zebra pulls a carriage through city streets. Colonial India featured exotic animal labor alongside traditional horses and oxen. Such unusual sights reflected British imperial eccentricity and exploitation. The zebra demonstrated wealth and unconventional transportation choices among colonial elites throughout the British Raj. New York City, 1939. Albert Einstein poses with his sister Maya Einstein. The physicist had fled Nazi Germany permanently. Einstein's relativity theories revolutionized physics. His humanitarian activism and pacifism made him among the 20th century's most influential figures. Pie Town, New Mexico, 1940. A farmer and his brother make music together. Rural Americans created their own entertainment through traditional music. String instruments provided recreation and cultural expression. Such moments documented everyday life during the Depression. Music strengthened community bonds throughout isolated agricultural regions nationwide. Hollywood, 1965. The Red Skelton Show features Freddie the Freeloader with Herman Munster. Red Skelton was a clown with a heart who had a wholesome, clean television show. He had a certain way of connecting with audiences. Skelton's variety show ran 20 years, defining family entertainment throughout American television's golden era. Geneva, Switzerland, September 1933. Joseph Goebbels stays back at photographer Alfred Eisenstein after discovering he was Jewish. The chilling photograph captured Nazi hatred in Goebbels' eyes. The propaganda minister orchestrated the Holocaust machinery. Eisenstein's image documented evil's face before the world understood Nazism's full horror. England, 1920. Mary and Bevan entered the ugliest woman in the world contest after developing acromegaly and losing her husband. She did it simply to put food on the table for her kids. Despite exploitation, Bevan's sacrifice demonstrated maternal love. She endured public humiliation to provide for her children. London, 1964. Audrey Hepburn appears with long hair photographed by Cecil Beaton for Vogue. The beloved actress and fashion icon maintained elegance throughout her career. Hepburn later devoted herself to UNICEF humanitarian work. She died in 1993 at 63, leaving a legacy of film and charitable service. Orchard, 1950s. Fruit pickers take a break. Agricultural labor remained physically demanding despite mechanization. Migrant workers harvested crops throughout America. Such breaks provided rest from hot, exhausting work. Fruit picking employed thousands seasonally. Memphis, Tennessee, April 1968. Jesse Jackson talks with Martin Luther King Jr. on the balcony outside room 306 of the Lorraine Motel. A day later, King would be assassinated on this spot by James Earl Ray. The photograph captured King's final hours before his murder shocked the nation. Mecca, Saudi Arabia, 1953 and 2025. A 7-to-2-year comparison shows dramatic transformation. Modern development replaced historic architecture. Massive hotels tower over Islam's holiest site. Millions of pilgrims now perform Hajj annually. Ellis Island, New York, 1910. A family arrives to start a new life in America. Over 12 million immigrants entered through Ellis Island between 1892 and 1954. Families carried everything they owned. Processing determined who could enter. Ellis Island represented hope and opportunity for millions seeking better lives. Britain, 1953. As Britain celebrated Queen Elizabeth II's coronation with bunting, flags, and street parties, not every child could join festivities. One little girl stood outside looking in, unable to participate. The photograph captured social inequality amid national celebration. Washington, D.C., 1868. The United States $7.2 million check paid for Alaska, roughly $135 million in 2022. The purchase from Russia added massive territory. Critics called it Seward's folly. Alaska's vast resources proved the deal brilliant. Rome, various dates. A timeline of Emperor Nero's life through coins he issued during his reign shows Roman propaganda. Imperial coinage displayed rulers' images and messages. Nero ruled from 54 to 68 AD. His tyrannical reign ended in suicide. Beijing, China, circa 1958. People scare sparrows during the Fort Pest campaign at Summer Palace. The campaign was one of the Great Leap Forward's first actions. Killing sparrows disrupted ecosystems, allowing locust populations to explode. The resulting crop failures contributed to famine, killing tens of millions of Chinese. Regensburg, Germany, 1380. The antique door features design making it easier for homeowners to fit keys into keyholes when returning home in the dark or after drinking. Medieval craftsmanship demonstrated practical problem solving. Such details revealed daily life concerns. Europe, date uncertain. A cucumber forms a bulbous nose. The open maw of a wolf simulates an eye. A striking iron is an E. A shark is a mouth. A pile of books composes a torso. Composite paintings demonstrated Renaissance artistic creativity and symbolism. Arcade, 1980. Missile Command video game appeared in arcades. The Atari Classic challenged players to defend cities from nuclear missiles. Cold War anxieties influence game design. Arcade culture peaked during the early 1980s. Video games revolutionized entertainment, creating a multi-billion-dollar industry that transformed global popular culture. United States, 1970s. A typical living room features shag carpeting, wood paneling, and oath tones. The decade's distinctive aesthetic defined American homes. Avocado appliances and macrame completed the look. Such interiors evoke nostalgia. Design trends eventually shifted, London, England, 1969. The Beatles' last live performance together occurs on the rooftop of Apple Records headquarters. The impromptu concert stopped traffic. Police eventually shut it down. The performance captured the band's final months before their 1970 breakup ended the most influential group in rock history. Times Square, New York, 1998. New Yorkers stopped to watch the Seinfeld finale. The sitcom's final episode attracted over 76 million viewers. Crowds gathered at public screenings. Seinfeld defined 1990s television comedy. The show's cultural impact endured beyond its 9-season run. Normandy, France, June 1944. Crewmen of a Sherman tank from the Westminster Dragoons repair suspension damage caused by enemy anti-tank fire during the landings. Mechanical failures were common. Crews performed repairs under fire. Tank warfare proved brutal throughout the Normandy campaign. Belgium, 1966. Eddy Merckx is the Peugeot rider. Walter Godefroot sprawls on cobbles next to him. The photo shows the finish of Dwars door Belge race. Professional cycling dangers included crashes on treacherous cobblestone roads. Merckx became cycling's greatest champion, winning 5 Tour de France titles. Japan, 1959. Women work at a cannon factory. Japanese manufacturing employed millions rebuilding the economy after World War II. Women comprised significant portions of industrial workforce. Canon became a global technology leader. Post-war economic miracle transformed Japan into an economic powerhouse through Boston, Massachusetts, 1978. During heavy snowfall, people used cross-country skis for mobility. The blizzard of 1978 paralyzed New England with over 2 feet of snow. Transportation systems collapsed. Residents adapted creatively. Skiing became practical transportation. Boston, Massachusetts, 1890s. Female students engage in gym class at Charlestown High School. Physical education for women challenged Victorian gender norms. Exercise was considered unfeminine. Progressive educators promoted women's fitness despite resistance. Such programs expanded women's opportunities and challenged restrictive expectations about female physical capabilities and activities.